This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on Planet MicroCap. And joining me right now is Dr. Paul Westsells. He is the president and CEO of Western Copper and Gold Corp. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is WRN on both the TSX and the NYSE American. And Western Copper and Gold will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com. And with that, Dr. Westsells, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Doing very well. It's a pleasure to talk to you again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of which, it's been a while since we had you on. Before we get into that update, for those that missed that first interview, can you give us a quick overview of Western Copper and Gold?
Sure. Yeah. Western Copper and Gold is a single asset development company. We're developing the Casino Copper Gold project located up in the Yukon. This is a large copper gold project. It's got 10.7 billion pounds of copper, 21 million ounces of gold. We've been developing it, for about a dozen years, but easily the past 2 years have been the most exciting in the company.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of which, last time we had you on here, that interview we published on August 17, 2020. So from your perspective, what would you say are some of the company's milestones that have been accomplished? 6, 12, 18 months, feel free to give them all.
Yeah, no, well, and as we were saying last time we talked, was in August of 2020. I mean, since that time, it's really been transformative for the company. The first thing that we did at the end of 2020, was issue a new resource on the project, bringing almost double the overall size of the resource. Moved to 2021, we issued a PEA. That PEA is now a feasibility study. That feasibility study came out less than a month ago. And then, on top of all that, with a new resource, now a new feasibility study, we brought in Rio Tinto in May of 2021 as a strategic partner. That's been great. This is a big boy project. Obviously, with that amount of copper and that amount of gold, this is a project that really needs a big major mining company. I've been saying that for years. And with Rio Tinto, that's exactly what we have.
Absolutely. And maybe for those, again, who have missed that first interview, tell us a little bit more about the project itself and why Rio Tinto was attracted to wanting to work with you on this.
Sure. Yeah. Based on the feasibility study that we just issued, this is a project that has a 2.3 billion net present value, an 18.1% IRR at very conservative long-term commodity prices. It produces close to 200,000 tons of copper equivalent per year initially, and then that drops over the life of mine. So this is a big producer. This is why one of the reasons that Rio Tinto is interested in this. If you go back to the PEA, let's start with the feasibility study. The feasibility study contemplates 27-year mine life. That's based on a reserve of 1.2 billion tons. That the overall resource in terms of the measured, the indicated, and the inferred taken together is a total of 3.6 billion tons. So we're looking at 1/3 of the resource. And this is already, a significant, multi-billion-dollar net present value project. We've got a great relationship with Rio Tinto. We've been working with them for a year, and it's an interesting arrangement that we have with them. It's really them coming in, having a look at the project, and if they like what they see, we sit down and talk about next steps. And so far, if I believe what they're telling me, they like what they see.
Absolutely. Well, to close us out here today, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's catalysts that will result in uncovering some value for the company, let's say in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. Obviously the feasibility study is very fresh. Part of what I'm going to be doing over the next few months is going out and make sure everyone understands the importance of this feasibility study. On the back of that, we had the consensus of the analysts was to move our share price target up. So being received very, very well. We've got a drilling campaign. We're sort of past the exploration stage, and growing the resources already, as I said, fairly large, but we've got, one sort of deep geophysical anomaly that we're looking at that we're pretty excited about. And so that's being drilled. So we'll have those results come out. And then, the big thing is the relationship with Rio. And, without getting into the details of the agreement, we do have a milestone coming up at the end of November with that agreement. And so, hopefully before then or around then, we have something exciting to talk about.
Very good. Well, with that, Dr. Westsells, where can our audience go and find more information on Western Copper and Gold?
Yeah, no, certainly. Our website, www.westerncopperandgold.com. It's really long, but exactly how it's spelled, pretty easy to find. Also, feel free to reach out to myself or our head of IR, Sandy Noyes, at any time.
Very good. Well, Dr. Westsells, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Me as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, this has been an interview with Western Copper and Gold. We'll be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com.